What's up, guys? It is Anthony Owens from Redemption Removal, and it's Saturday, and I'm at work before the Lions game. Go Lions! But I'm at work sanding or grinding rather the corners I welded yesterday on a weight bench platform. So I'll show you that in a minute when I cut to it. So I'm grinding those edges down, and I am welding a flat bar across so that it can be reinforced. The platform can be reinforced inside of the frame. So without further ado, let's get ready. Put my hair back and get my apron on. See y'all there. So now that I'm ready, I can begin grinding. And let me show you what I'm grinding. These corners right here have a lot of flux on them from the welding machine. So what I need to do is grind them down so it's flush and even with this part right here. If it's not flush, it'll sit uneven on the floor and could cause injuries and potential damage to the equipment. So this right here, don't mind that hole, it's a big gap. It doesn't matter. Stick welded this and MIG welded this part right here. Let's see. And also this side has a lot of flux. So let me hook it up right quick. And yeah. So now that I have the 7-inch angle grinder hooked up and plugged in, I'm ready to go. So let me put on some glasses real quick. Always remember, PPE gear is important. Fundamental. Still got a little bit to go. All right, take a look at this corner. All flush, still hot. Still hot. So to be flush, I might come back to this part right here. Yeah. And that's about what you want to have. So let's do the next one. All right, now we're cut brushing this 2-inch flat bar that will reinforce this frame right between these band pegs right here. So now that I've cut brushed the flat bar, I'll grab some brake cleaner and wipe it off. And wipe off the excess rust. So now that that is done, I will measure end to end across and cut the best piece from that flat bar using this chop saw right here. All right, now that we have the flat bar measured out 36 13/16 of an inch, we can chop this in half. Now that we have everything set up properly, we can get ready to cut this piece in half. So I drew an arrow right here because it doesn't matter if you cut more of this piece, as you can just grind it off and the excess off, but it does matter if you cut less because it will not be enough to support this frame, which is 36 and 15/16 inches wide. All right, there was a little miscommunication and I had to cut this piece smaller than it is. So I'm gonna show you right now, and I have to cut two pieces of metal on each side. So this is what I have to do. I have to put it right in between this angle and the metal itself. And I have to cut this down to right here. So what I'll do is grab my square, which is all the way over there. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna measure this piece right here and then set it over there by the chop saw. And I'm gonna measure this piece right here and then do the same thing. All right, now that we have these two pieces measured and ready to cut, we're gonna mount it on this chop saw.
They frozen to death.
They're not the most even cuts, but they will do. Let's mount them on and see where we're at. Alright, I got these parts clamped, and it was the hardest part of the whole thing so far. And now I'm ready to weld. So let's get that set up. So there's my mask right there. So it's set on 3/16 and 8, and the thickness of the thinnest piece of metal is 1/8. So we need to crank it down to 1/8. So now we're good. And let's plug it up. All right, let's get our wire snips, put them in the apron, nozzle gel. Let's put it on top of the machine. Let's plug her into the main power, and then we'll go from there. All right, now that everything is plugged in, the ground is set, and our lead is right there. I'll turn this bad boy on. There it is. I got my mask on, and I'm ready. Right now I'm just tacking them closed so I can take the clamps off, so I can do the whole thing. Now that I'm done tacking, I can take the clamps off. All right, now we're about to really weld this shut. Let's go. Now I'm about to grind down the flux. This one right here is hard because I have to layer it because there's a gap between the metals. Okay, so I have a problem. There's a hole in my weld, so I'm gonna try to fix it. Right, so I finished welding. I fixed the hole pretty good. Pretty good. So now I'm gonna wipe it down. Alright, now it's time to prime and paint. So let me go grab the primer. Now I got the primer ready. I'm gonna bring it over. Put it on the ground. We got our roller. So let's begin priming.
The next morning, nearly frozen to death.
Now that I've finished coating it with primer, I would just have to wait until Monday to apply the forest green paint onto the frame. And if I don't see you then, this was Anthony Owens, the random technician from Redemption Removal. And remember, we're not fixing a tool, but the tool is never dead.